This is the Tristan Law Show. If it's your first time here, welcome. And if you've been here before, welcome back. I'm Tristan Law, semi-retired pro wrestler, and today, I'm your host. For over 20 years, 20 plus years, John Cena was the face of the WWE. The ultimate hero, the man who stood for hustle, loyalty, and respect. But now, he's turned his back on all of it. Hustle, no more hustle. Loyalty, out the window. Respect, he respects nobody. But this is not just a heel turn. It's a complete takeover. With the WWE Championship in his sights, John Cena is rewriting the rules on pro wrestling. And he's going to be the biggest nightmare in the WWE. And we're gonna talk about that today. Thank you so much for joining me on a random Friday afternoon. We finally hit 200 subscribers, but that's not why we're not here. We're gonna celebrate the success and move on because we're talking about John Cena today. And there's only one man who's gonna pay for all this. His name is Cody Rhodes. Today we're gonna break it all down. The heel turn that rocked the world, the reign of terror that John Cena is gonna bring through that nobody could stop, and the road to Cody versus Rock. This is the best story that WWE has told since like maybe the Bloodline, and we're going to book it from start to finish. But the question that I'm asking you today, that I want you to tell me in the chat, whether you're watching this live or demand, understand that the Tristan Law Show is fully interactive. The question I'm asking you today is, who had the most shocking heel turn in all of pro wrestling history? Was it John Cena? Was it Hulk Hogan? Is it somebody else? Tell me in the chat, and we're going to go ahead. We're going to talk about that today. But John Cena's heel turn at Elimination Chamber, that was the biggest shift that in his character in years. John Cena's been a heel before. So I don't want anybody to think that's like just brand new to wrestling, that John Cena just became a heel. He just woke up today and said, I'm going to be a heel. No, that's not what happened. So John Cena was a heel way back in the day, like when Jesus was a child. And he was then he eventually became the hustle, loyalty, respect. He did the movie The Marine, and everybody started liking him. They started cheering for him. John Cena was just so cool. He can come out there and beat people in rap battles. But then there was a time when John Cena became a little bit too babyface, where he was just a little bit too goody two-shoes, to where John Cena could do no wrong, and John Cena always won, and people hated it. John Cena came out there with the 5 moves of doom, and that's how he won all his matches. And everybody's like, but wait a minute, you got better wrestlers out there. And everybody that was over the age of like 15, 16, they hated John Cena. They had a strong dislike and disdain for John Cena. But the thing that I'm looking at is like, we all wanted John Cena to turn heel. We did. Fans wanted John Cena to turn heel for decades. We wanted to see the evil side of John Cena. We don't want you so nice. We don't want you so cutesy. What we really wanted was, you wanted a little bit of, I don't know, maybe ruthless aggression out of John Cena. That's what we wanted. He could have turned anytime, John Cena, at any time doing his career. And he had a 20-year plus run. And what John Cena did was he looked in the mirror and he said, his time is now. We're going to take a look at one of what I think is one of the biggest heel turns of all time in history, or a couple of them. We're going to compare this to Hogan's NWO run. We're going to compare this to Rock when he was Hollywood Rock, and then we're going to change this to John Cena. And thinking about it now, what did these 3 people have in common? Hogan, Rock, and Cena? I'll tell you what they had in common. The 3 of them were at the top of the business during their time, and they branched off to go ahead and make movies. So I wouldn't be surprised if Cena calls himself Hollywood Hogan at this point. I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there. I see that Sean Jennings is in the chat. What's going on? Good to see you. Welcome. He said that it's basically the same exact heel turn. He said they both came up as heels. They changed the faces towards the end of their career. They turned heel. Yeah, I agree. That's exactly what most of these people had in common. But let's take a look at it. So Hogan turned heel in 1996. The Rock, Hollywood Rock in 2003, and John Cena. If you're watching this anytime, we're trying to keep this evergreen. So this happened in 2025, February, at the Elimination Chamber. When Hogan turned heel, the fans were pretty much turning on him when he left the WWE. Hogan didn't have that same exact fanfare that he went into WrestleMania 3 with, WrestleMania 1 with, 2, any of those. He didn't have that same fanfare. He didn't have the fans behind him anymore. When he left to go make movies, it's kind of like, you know what? This has been here a little bit too long. They got younger guys coming in, so Hogan's style of whatever he was doing, it just wasn't rocking anymore. Same thing with The Rock. When The Rock went to Hollywood, he turned heel because you know what? The fans turned on him. The fans were upset that he decided to turn his back on wrestling. And then when he came back, he felt like, oh, I'm so high and mighty. I'm Hollywood Rock. And now looking at Cena, it's something that everybody wanted for years. If you were a wrestling fan and you liked John Cena back in the day, this was something that you probably wanted. You want to see this extra layer of John Cena. Now, looking at at these three gentlemen, at these men, and how they were heels, how they were bad guys and dominant, Hulk Hogan was the NWO leader. He was power hungry, right? He wanted to take over the WCW. And the question is, how did he become the leader of WCW when he was only the third guy? I don't know. That's not for me to figure out. When Hollywood Rock came back, he was arrogant, right? Because he thought he was better than everybody because he got that new Hollywood money. And John Cena only turned heel because he felt like it was the best for him. It was what was best for business. And I see him being a dictator champion where he holds the WWE hostage. If you don't know what I mean, you're going to have to stick around until the end because we're going to break this all down so that we can talk about it so it makes a little bit more sense when you're watching the wrestling on the TV. Hogan, when he turned heel, shocked the industry. The Rock, he was pretty entertaining. He did a couple concerts and stuff like that. But John Cena, he shocked the industry because it's something that you didn't expect. The reason why you didn't expect it because John Cena only got 10 months left until he retires from the WWE. For Hogan, when he turned heel in 96, it redefined his legacy. For The Rock, when he did it, it's not memorable, but it was still legendary in that short exact time as well, too. And for Cena, this is going to define how he leaves the WWE. But if you ask me, I don't think that John Cena might leave the WWE. I don't know. There's still more to it. But with the Hulk Hogan and Cena similarity, Cena, just like Hogan, they were the ultimate babyface for years. His heel turn, just like Hogan, it feels long overdue. It's something that we want. And it's giving his career the second life as a villain, as a heel, as the Rudo. But here's the question, why now? Why now? Let me ask you a question. Again, I want you to put this in the chat, whether you're watching this live or on demand. Who do you feel is the most shocking heel turn? John Cena Elimination Chamber or Hulk Hogan at Bash and Beach 1996? Let me know in the chat, whether you're watching this live or on demand. Hollywood Rock and Cena. Cena's new heel persona, it could take elements from both Hollywood Hulk Hogan and Hollywood Rock. Both arrogant, self-absorbed, acting like he's now above the WWE. John Cena is the man that carried the WWE on his back for a very long time. And now all of a sudden he's deciding that he's going to turn his back on the fans. All them kids that he grew up with, just like Sean Jennings said in the chat, he said, F them kids. He just turned his back on all them kids that grew up. They're probably now like, I don't know, maybe in their 20s now. They probably cried some real thug tears at Elimination Chamber because the guy that they've been following since they were kids, they had all his merchandise. He turned his back on them. Looking at John Cena's motivations, was it desperation? Or was it just a little bit of ego? We're going to break this all down and take a look at it. Look, if WWE plays this right, this heel turn, this heel run is going to be bigger than both Hogan and Rock's put together. It's mainly because it's happening in the modern era with social media and fans have a little bit more of a voice and they're a little bit more control and it's from an audience that's been begging for it. But listen to me when I tell you this. Listen, there's a saying that they always say, be careful what you wish for. Well, we're going to take a look at how this storyline is going to be panning out. But if you like what I'm saying, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Then one of the coolest things that happened was that I am at 200 subscribers. I don't know where y'all coming from, but I appreciate y'all. Thank you so much for hanging out. Share this with somebody. But yeah, definitely hit that that subscribe button. Look, here we go. We even got even the logo for it. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. It means a lot. It means that I'm doing a great job on this Tristan Law show. And as we go through this journey and growing this, I'm glad that you're here. So we all wanted a heel Cena because he was too much of a smiley guy. Mr. Hustle, loyalty, and respect. Oh, how dare you, Mr. Hootie, Heidi, Tidy, talking about, oh, you gotta work hard, you gotta have loyalty, you gotta have respect. That just sounds so like, I don't know, like goody two-shoes, if you ask me, right? And now, what we got the grandpa from Up, and now we're in trouble. Now, if you don't know what I mean, I really think that John Cena looks like the grandpa from Up. Look at his face right here. Y'all don't think that John Cena looked like the grandpa from Up? Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna doctor his face up a little bit so that you can take a look at it. We're gonna put the glasses on him and we're gonna give John Cena the eyebrows. Do you still not think that John Cena looks like the grandpa from Up? Look, I'm having a hard time like just looking at it. The first time that I saw it, I was like, yo, this guy like seriously looks like the grandpa from Up. And what I did, I put together my Photoshop skills and I took the head of the grandpa from Up and I put it on John Cena. So you're trying to tell me that this day and age, that you don't think that John Cena looks like the grandpa from Up? You don't? I do. Looks just like him, 100%. Let me know in the comments. Let me know in the comments if you think that John Cena looks like the grandpa from Up. We got Dan Rivera in here. The last Raw of 2025 is December 29th. Potentially John Cena's final appearance on TV. You are 100% right, but I'm going to tell you why I don't believe that. Stick around. Stick around, Dan Rivera. I'm going to tell you why. Thank you so much for your comment. You too, Sean Jennings. I'm going to tell you why I don't believe that to be true. Cody Rhodes right now, he's in bigger trouble. All right? You think the WWE's in trouble? You think that we're in trouble? Cody Rhodes is in bigger trouble. Now, we're going to fantasy book and we're going to see how this storyline is going to play out. At WrestleMania 41, Cena's going to beat Cody. That's happening in a couple weeks. I'm telling you that's going to happen. I don't see it going any other way. It's The Rock. For The Rock, this is going to be his way of getting back at Cody for disrespecting him last year. The twist is that when John Cena becomes the champion, he's going to barely defend the title, only defending it when he wants to. Everybody's going to complain about now Cena's leaving in 10 months and he's not here often. Why is he the champion if he's still in Hollywood? You're going to be upset. Now you, as the fan, are going to be blurring the lines between what's shoot, what's real, and what's kayfabe, what's a work in the ring, right? Remember how everybody felt about Goldberg and Brock Lesnar being the champions and barely being there? You had to have Seth Rollins carry the company. You're going to have that same exact feeling again. Who's going to tell John Cena that he can't show up? He's got a board of director in his back pocket. He's got the final boss, the Rock, who he's working for. So who's going to tell John Cena he needs to show up every week and defend the championship and be on Raw every night? Huh? No one is going to be able to stop heel Cena. When he chooses to come back, what he is going to do, as the WWE Undisputed Champion, he's going to take from Cody at WrestleMania, is that he's going to have top-notch A1 pro wrestling matches with everybody. You're going to see him in the ring with Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins is going to try to chop John Cena down. He's going to fail. You're going to see Damian Priest. You're going to try to chop John Cena down. He's going to fail. You're going to see CM Punk try to chop down John Cena, and everybody's going to fail to dethrone Cena. The crowd is going to get angrier because John Cena is going to become more smug. He's going to be showing up when he wants to. We're just going to call him, we're not going to call him John Cena anymore. We're going to call him Grandpa from Up. That's what we'll call him, Grandpa from Up. Cena turning on Cody and the fans at Elimination Chamber, it sucked the air out of the room. But it's going to get a lot worse before it gets better. Listen to me. I know that this episode is not about Cody. It's not about The Rock, because The Rock is, we're talking about The Rock on Tuesday, actually, about the final boss. Cody's probably going to get his whole episode too, but this all plays into the John Cena, why he's becoming a nightmare in the WWE. I'm going to tell you, though, however, how Cody saves the day and redeems himself. But we've mentioned the final boss, The Rock, a lot, because he plays a big part in this. But I want you to join me Tuesday live at noon, because we are going to look at together, hand in hand, why the final boss feels more dangerous than ever. That beatdown on Cody Rhodes by the final boss, The Rock, Travis Scott, and Cody Rhodes, and John Cena. If you ask me, the beatdown on Cody Rhodes by the final boss, The Rock, Travis Scott, and John Cena, it shamed Cody Rhodes. If the story, now this is just if, I'm just freestyling here, if, and let me know what you think in the chat. I'm about to go look at the chat right now and see what we got. If the story is that Cody loses at WrestleMania 41, he may feel shame not just for himself, not just for all the fans that he went and gave the belt to and palled around with when he should have been a heel, but I just want to say he's a babyface. He's going to feel shame for his father and his family. I can see that, 100%. 100%. He's going to feel shame for his family because he won the championship for his father. He failed that first year. You remember how everybody felt that first year when Cody Rhodes failed? And now he's going to come back? And then he's going to fail again after he won the championship and go through all this? Let me calm down and look at the chat. Dan Rivera says, I'm throwing it out there. Those dates are not there. Cena keeps his word and retires after this year. Dan Rivera, get out of my head. Get out of my head. Because I feel like we're like right here. We're right here. Let me see what else you put. I don't think the E wants another Roman situation here in reference to the title. No, they won't have a Roman situation, but it's going to be much worse. Just stick around. Thank you so much for your comments, because we're going to break this whole entire John Cena thing down to why he's going to become a nightmare, because by the time we get down to the end of this, you might say, you know what? That guy's crazy. Talking about me. That guy's crazy. But he has a point. So, after Cody Rhodes leaves, Cody Rhodes is going to leave after he loses at WrestleMania 21. He's going to go away. He's going to get lost. But before he gets lost, I need to say this. As a pro wrestler, right, there's a thing that we have called a receipt. We know, right, that pro wrestling is predetermined. We are not out there hitting each other hard. Let me rephrase it. No, we're hitting each other hard, but we're hitting each other in very safe places, right? Here, I can hit you real hard here. I can hit you real hard here. You can hit me real hard in the back. We can do all that. I can take that. I'm a man. I can take that. And women can take that as well too, right? It's a very meaty part of your body. But the face, there's not much meat on your face. And the way that Travis Scott was just teeing off on Cody Rhodes at the Elimination Chamber, I'm going to teach you a little wrestling term right now. Come close. Because I don't want y'all to tell nobody that I told y'all. So I'm going to say it soft. In pro wrestling, we got this term called the receipt. You know, like when you go to like the store and you buy something, they give you like a piece of paper of like, your proof of purchase. Well, trust me, Travis Scott got a proof of purchase coming for him from Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes needs to either punch Travis Scott right underneath his eye, or if Cody Rhodes has the opportunity to give Travis Scott a chair shot, you hit him with all your might. Cody Rhodes is going to call in the powers from his ancestors, and he's going to unleash it on Travis Scott, because in pro wrestling, we don't do that. Maybe, I don't know, maybe somebody told Travis Scott doesn't know how to punch, so they said just punch for real. I don't know, but you ain't going to black my eye, because you might punch my face for real. I'm like, you know what? You don't know how to punch me. We need to tell the story. You punch me in the face and black my eye, but I'm coming later on for my receipt. And there's no exchanges and no returns. Because if you want to give me a return on my receipt, I'm going to return your receipt back on you. So that's what I think. But either way, Cody Rhodes is going to lose WrestleMania 41. He's going to hang his head in shame. He's going to walk away. Meanwhile, John Cena is going to hold the WWE Undisputed Championship hostage. Nobody's not going to beat him. Maybe this is one scenario I'm going to tell you. SummerSlam 2025, Cody returns, but he is not the same anymore. If you've been watching the Tristan Law Show for a while, go back to any Cody Rhodes episode or anything that I've ever had to say about Cody Rhodes. I always said that Cody Rhodes was soft. He's soft like toilet paper. He's soft like my bed. My bed's pretty soft thinking about it now. But Cody Rhodes is soft. And Cody Rhodes hasn't had anybody that's really come for his kufi, for his dome piece, since he's become the WWE Undisputed Champion. It was so great. Let me tell you this, all right? A part of this podcast, this show on YouTube, is that not only are we going to talk wrestling, I'm going to teach you wrestling. So everybody wants their favorite wrestlers to win the belt. And when I'm sitting around with a bunch of people who are not wrestling fans, one of the things I always say to them is, okay, fine. So if your favorite wrestler wins the championship, then what? You know what the answer I normally get is? They don't have anything to say. Because the chase is what makes it so exciting. It was so exciting last year when John Cena, when Cody Rhodes was chasing for the WWE Undisputed Championship, when he had The Rock, the final boss, and Roman Reigns and the whole entire bloodline against him. And he was like, who's going to help him? Now it's just like, he's won the belt. The only person that really made you feel like, you know what, he just might lose it is Kevin Owens, because Kevin Owens is a savage. That's another episode in itself. We're not going to get into that. But now that Cody Rhodes, now that he doesn't have to chase, he now has to defend against somebody who is like dangerous, like the John Cena or Grandpa from Up, right? Or he has to defend against like The Rock. It makes you wonder even more, how is this story going to play out? And we're telling you. When Cody Rhodes comes back, he's not going to be that goody two-shoes, naive Cody Rhodes that we have all come to know about, because I think Cody Rhodes is naive. Cody Rhodes should have never been in that ring with John Cena, with Travis Scott, with the final boss, The Rock. He should have been Fast Feet McGee, and he should have left, right? Because who helped him? Nobody helped him. When Cody Rhodes comes back, we're booking the story hypothetically saying that Cody Rhodes loses at WrestleMania 41 to John Cena. He's going to leave and come back around SummerSlam. The American Nightmare just won't be a name. He is going to be a real nightmare. It's going to be no longer about Cody winning. This is going to be the story. And I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it. It's going to be about Cody surviving. He has to survive Cena. Because you saw what they did to him in Elimination Chamber. What you thought? Like it ran out? You think that they don't got more to give Cody Rhodes? Let me tell you something. Cody Rhodes is supposed to come on SmackDown tonight and talk, right? But if Cody Rhodes wants more from The Rock and John Cena and even Travis Scott, they got it for free. It's all he can eat, and they will give it to him. The same way that John Cena had to change to get what he wanted, it's going to force Cody to change to get what he wants. And you're probably watching this right now, but you're like, well, you know, John Cena didn't really do much to change. All he did was beat up Cody Rhodes. He didn't really do nothing. No! Sometimes you got to watch wrestling and you got to look a little bit closer. Look, you knew what, when I was watching the Elimination Chamber and I saw that Cody Rhodes was in the ring with those three men, I was yelling, Cody, get out the ring. Cody, get out the ring. And I'm a pro wrestler. I was trained and everything like that. And I don't get it twisted. I'm only a pro wrestler because something happened on the TV that enamored me so much that I felt like, you know what? I got to go give somebody my hard-earned money to go learn how to do that. And I do it, and I did it, and I love it. And I still love wrestling till this day. That's why I sit here and I talk to you about it. It's a passion of mine. It's something that I love, right? My son and wrestling. That's what I love, okay? And chicken wings. I like chicken wings too. Don't forget that. Blue cheese, no ranch. So, like, John Cena stole that win at the Elimination Chamber. He didn't win. That's not the normal John Cena. Loyalty, hustle, respect. When he put CM Punk in that submission, where was the hustle? Where was the loyalty and where was the respect? That's when I knew that there was an issue with John Cena. So John Cena changed in order to get what he wanted because he wants to be 17-time world champion and beat Ric Flair. In order for Cody Rhodes to get his championship back, he's going to have to go to a dark place to finish his fight. He finally lets go of the goody two shoes. I'm Cody Rhodes and I'm doing adrenaline in my soul. Da, 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 da. He's going to probably get rid of all that stupid music. And he's going to come back and destroy John Cena. John Cena, the 16-time champion, was so greedy, he had to sell his soul to The Rock, the same man that they went on each other's throat at WrestleMania 28 and 29. Cena kicked Cody Rhodes in the Rhodes family jewels and stood with his foot on him, holding the championship that his dad never had. Cena went to a dark place, and Cody is going to have to go to that dark place to redeem himself. Let's take a look at the chat. Sean Jennings checks in. Thank you so much. He says, we getting the black hair Cody as heel Cody? I don't know. I don't think Cody's going to turn heel, but he's definitely going to have to find something inside of him in order to fight John Cena, right? Because if you think he's going to show up saying, I'm Cody Rhodes, I'm here to fight, they're going to stomp him out like they did again. What? You think they beat him with his daddy's watch at Elimination Chamber? They're going to beat him with his daddy's belt. They're going to go into his house, take one of his old daddy's belts, and beat him with that. Thank you so much for a comment. Dom delivers, what's up, girl? Make sure you check out her podcast, wherever you find podcasts. Really good self-help podcast for women out there, so make sure you send that to the very important women in your life. She says, teach us. Yes, I'm teaching you. And then, let's see. Dom delivers pod checks in with another name. Well, you got more than one name watching? Cena has taken a lot of damage to his neck and shoulders over the years, so Cody should focus on these areas to wear him down. Your head is for a lot more than holding up a hat. See, now we are getting into storytelling now when it comes into WWE, into pro wrestling. And that's what I think, what I know, what makes WWE stand out from any other pro wrestling product in the world, right? Pro wrestling is not about moves. I always told anybody watching this right now, whether you're watching it live or on demand, I could bring you into the ring and I could teach you moves. Moves are easy. Right? To teach you how to put a headlock on somebody and not put them to sleep for real, I can show you how to do that. Show you how to drop an elbow on somebody or body slam somebody. You get body slammed, that's easy. But teaching you how to put it together in a match to make it tell a story, that's the hard part. Not everybody can do that and tell a compelling story. So what Dom Delivers Pod said, Cena has taken a lot of damage to the neck and shoulders over the years, so Cody should focus on these areas to wear him down. That's storytelling. Because while they are having the match, the announcers could call back and say, you know what, John Cena's had substantial damage to his neck and shoulders over the years, and by Cody Rhodes focusing on that, it's definitely a sure way for him to walk out of the match as a winner. You get a double hand clap. I ain't never give nobody a double hand clap before. And it's not because I like your podcast. It has nothing to do with that. Nothing to do with that. No, because it was legit street. But Cena, though, and I was talking to Daniel Rivera about this, right? Cena isn't playing by the pro wrestling rule book. Some of you watching don't even understand what the rule book is. You think you understand what the rule book is, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to explain it for you. However, if you don't like my ugly muggly face 6 days after every live episode, you can listen to the Tristan Law Show wherever you find the podcast, and even on YouTube. There are people that listen to podcasts on YouTube. So, yeah, that's what you can do there if you don't want to see my face, but I like my face. And watch what you say about my face, right? It's my mama face. No, it's not my mama face. It's my daddy face. I can see John Cena not playing by the pro wrestling rule book. So, in the pro wrestling rule book, there's a certain, etiquette that we kind of play by, right? When the babyface is getting ready to retire, right? Or when you're getting ready to retire, you leave as a babyface. John Cena hasn't done that. John Cena, though, is not the only person who hasn't played by the pro wrestling, playbook. In the pro wrestling playbook, it states that the wrestler that is leaving is the wrestler that is supposed to win, right? They're supposed to win. However, when Baron Corbin and Kurt Angle had their match, it didn't go that way. Right? You're supposed to go off on your high horse. But what happens is you send the leaving wrestler out with a loss. It doesn't feel good, though, does it? It's going to show that in this modern era of pro wrestling, the fans don't care about as much of the rule book as we think they do. What you really care about as the pro wrestling fan, and tell me in the comments, what you really care about as the pro wrestling fan is the level of entertainment that you're getting. That's why you're watching this right now. There's something that I'm doing right now that you find that is somewhat entertaining, maybe educational, something that is compelling you, and I'm thanking you for being here still. So when it comes to your pro wrestling, I'm going to assume that you like your pro wrestling that way. That you don't want anything but just the entertainment. You don't care how you get it, as long as you sit back on the edge of your chair and you go, wow, that was dope. So with that said, going back to Dan Rivera's comment, he said earlier, let me find that comment. He said, you figure Cena's final SmackDown appearance would be on December 19th. And since December 26th is the day after Christmas, I'm just throwing those dates out there if Cena keeps to his word and retires after 1 year. I'm going to tell you why John Cena's not going to retire at the end of the year, or why he doesn't have to retire at the end of the year. You know why? He's going to choose parts of the playbook that he wants to play from. What's one thing that makes a heel a heel? One thing you learn in pro wrestling school, golly, I can't believe you going to get this for free. Hit the like button, and I'm going to give you this for free. One person in this chat, though, Sean Jennings, that guy right there has put his job on the line for me in the past so I can go ahead and do some wrestling. So he's the one I'm going to go ahead and give this free knowledge to. So make sure y'all go ahead and hit that like button for Sean Jennings. So what makes a heel, one of the things that makes a heel, when you're a babyface, you can usually tell when a babyface is going to win a match because the babyface says they're going to win, right? He says, I'm going to beat you. He says, Grandpa from up, I'm going to beat you in the middle of the ring, 1, 2, 3. The reason why the babyface has to win is because you don't lie to the fans. You don't let the fans down, right? But if the babyface says, hey, Grandpa from up, I'm going to beat you in the ring, 1, 2, and 3. Now, the way that you get out of that is you have there be some kind of interference or some kind of cheat. So you'd be like, you know what? Well, I would have beat Grandpa from up, but they had to cheat in order to get there. So now what'll happen is that John Cena says that he's going to leave at the end of the year, right? Because he's a heel. He can make any promise that he wants. He doesn't have to keep anything. So then that John Cena's a heel. He can leave until somebody takes the championship off of him. He's not there every week. And you're going to be like, yo, but John Cena, you said that you were going to be gone at the end of the year, and you're still here. And that's why I think this is going to roll into WrestleMania 42. Cody versus Cena 2, the final battle. It could be another story that we tell. Instead of Cody Rhodes coming back at SummerSlam 2025, he can come back at New Orleans for WrestleMania and then finally right the wrong. The playbook, one of the biggest, Cena, right? Looking at Cena, right? I don't want to talk about the playbook anymore. Looking at Cena, he's one of the biggest merch sellers, and now he's heel. That's the playbook, right? How does it make sense? How does it make sense that WWE is going to give up all that money just so that John Cena could go be heel? I think that right now, that WWE doesn't need the money. Okay, let's not be crazy now, right? Nobody never just not need money. WWE right now is on Tubi, right? They got a show called Evolve on Tubi, and I'm going to tell you guys something about that. I might make a show about that next week because I want you to watch it. WWE is doing something very unique. They just renewed LFG and Rivals on A&E. They're on Netflix. They're on Fox. They're on Peacock. Like, WWE is everywhere. They can afford to lose a little bit of money on the merch just to make the money back from people watching John Cena come in and try and people try to beat him to take the championship off of him. Here's the question I want to ask you. You really think that John Cena was going to turn heel a couple months before his retirement, 10 months before his retirement? Tell me that in the chat. Here's the rest of the story for Cena and Cody at WrestleMania. The match. Cena's arrogance. He plays too many games that underestimates Cody. That's why he's going to lose, right? Cody Rhodes sitting at home watching for the whole entire year after he loses at WrestleMania, goes home, licks his wounds, and says, oh no, I lost my daddy's belt. And I got beat. So now, Cody Rhodes now, so now John Cena the whole entire time, he's running around building equity for himself. He's out there beating people left and right, making a name for himself. Right? Meanwhile, Cody's at home building his confidence, just like a regular movie. Think about any movie where you're watching your favorite superhero and they lose their confidence, then have to go and build it and come back. Right? Cody can even come back and win at the Elimination Chamber and challenge John Cena because he has no right to come back. The final boss could say, well, you know what? You had 6 months to come back for your championship rematch, but it took you a year. So you can't get your championship rematch. If you want it, you got to win it just like everybody else. Beat him at the Royal Rumble to where Cody loses the Royal Rumble, and then have him fight to win the Elimination Chamber so that at WrestleMania 42, he could be standing across the ring from John Cena. If Cody wins, a stipulation they can put now to get rid of John Cena, to get him out, is here's the stipulation. If Cody wins, Cena retires. And if Cody wins the belt, if Cena wins, they can either do like Cody leaves the WWE, or Cody can never challenge for the championship again. And I don't like the second one. I like the first one. So now you're doing a loser leaves WWE for the undisputed WWE Championship. Think about the amount of money that's going to make, because now the implications are real on both sides. One person is going to get the WWE Undisputed Universal Championship, and the other person is going to have to pack their bags and go home. What do you think about that? Tell me in the chat. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm crazy. Dom Delivers says, Cena is tough to beat. Cody has all the tools to win. Cody has all the tools to win, but he doesn't know it yet. He doesn't know it yet. Because Cody hasn't fought anybody like... the only person that probably came for his head since he's been back was Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, and now John Cena and maybe The Rock. He doesn't know that he can beat him because he's never had anything like this before. Thank you so much for your comment. Cody's going to tap into his ruthless side. He's going to break his old ways. Like I said, no more goody two shoes, Cody Rhodes. You don't like him either way. Cody Rhodes doesn't just beat Cena. He destroys him. And what he's going to do is he's going to take the belt, hold it over John Cena's head, for not only for him, not only for the fans, but his father, and he's going to put his foot on John Cena the same way that John Cena did to him at the Elimination Chamber. Tell me what you think. Do I get a hand clap? Sean Jenner said, it's been a while since we get a loser leaves town match. It's a good idea. Thank you very much. And I think that it would make you feel like the match is so less to be unpredictable. Because, all right, well, what if Cody Rhodes loses? We're not going to see Cody anymore. People are going to be like, nah, they're not going to beat Cody. Maybe they could even do the good old dusty finish where Cody Rhodes actually loses the match, but he loses the match because he gets screwed. And then maybe they come out and like, no, Triple H comes out and says, no, we're going to restart the match because that's not right, because they cheated, blah, 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 blah. And then Cody comes back and wins again, and then John Cena has to go home. But here's the thing, right? When you're looking at John Cena's exit at that point, is there redemption? Does he become that babyface again? It's his last day on the job. He's been a heel for so long. Does he roll out of the ring quietly, or does he stand up and take his applause? Let me tell you this. What I think is that at the end of the match, if this goes on to WrestleMania 42 in New Orleans, Cena just disappears after leaving. No redemption, no farewell, no other match. He's just gone. He's going to get up like a gentleman and just walk away. Why? Because he's already rewritten the pro wrestling playbook and he doesn't get the champion send-off. Or does he? Listen, he still might, right? Because like I'm telling you, the fans, you might not even care so much because, right, you're getting entertained. Because we know what wrestling is. You know what wrestling is in this day and age. You don't understand the trick of how they pull the magic, how they pull the rabbit out of the hat, but you know it's some kind of illusion. And people still pay money to go see magic tricks. Listen to this. Put this in your head. So that happens, right? The loser leaves WWE match for the WWE Undisputed Championship at WrestleMania 42. When it's done, right? Cena is supposed to roll to the outside, right? To give Cody his moment where he's in the ring by himself and all the fireworks and everything else is going on, right? And then Cody's just going to leave, but the cameras are going to still roll. What's going to happen is that John Cena's now going to get up, and the second he gets up and he starts walking, I'm getting goosebumps. And I love pro wrestling so much, you don't even understand, that I feel myself getting emotional just seeing the picture in my head. John Cena is going to be walking up the ramp, leaving WrestleMania 42, and everybody's going to give him a standing ovation. If Cena leaves as the beaten heel, they're going to cheer for him because everybody understands. They're going to love the level of entertainment. Somebody's going to step back and go, damn, John Cena really put on a hell of a show for us for the past year. And Cody Rhodes, he built Cody Rhodes. Whether we see John Cena or not as a heel ever again after he gets beat at WrestleMania 42 in New Orleans, going with the storyline, you're always going to cheer for Cena. No matter what Vince McMahon did as a heel, as Mr. McMahon, I'm not talking about what he did in his real life, even when Mr. McMahon went through with all the allegations, when he still came to SmackDown and Raw, people still cheered for him. Because we still appreciate the entertainment, right? Like I say, look, 100%, I don't condone anybody's bad behavior in Hollywood. I'm not for that. Whether it's against women, definitely against children, against men, nobody. I don't condone your bad behavior. However, like Hulk Hogan, I don't like Hulk Hogan as a person for what I hear he does in his personal life. However, as a pro wrestler and as a pro wrestling fan, I acknowledge the accomplishments that Hulk Hogan has made to the pro wrestling business. But if you ask me, I think he's a racist. Either way, whatever Cena does, it's going to be best for business. In pro wrestling, one of the things that they always tell us is you always need to leave the business better than you found it. And I think 1 million trillion billion %, I don't know if that's a real number, I probably just made it up. But I bet my last dollar in my wallet that win, lose, or draw, when Cena retires finally, whether he does keep his word and retires at the end of 2025, or whether he becomes the ultimate heel and he stays when he feels like leaving because nobody can take the championship off of him. Look, John Cena don't got no kids. So when he retires, who's he going to give the belt to? So he might as well just stay till somebody takes it off of him. But I 100% guarantee that John Cena left the business than when he found it. Think about pro wrestling 20 some odd years ago when John Cena started. Most of you watching right now probably didn't even like pro wrestling that much. All them years ago, when I was watching John Cena, I was dreaming about being able to go and do what he did. So I'm not a new fan. But there are a lot of new wrestling fans out there. If you look at pro wrestling from 20 years ago to what it was, to what it is now, and even in the time when John Cena was there, you can't deny that John Cena didn't even better than he found it, man. Not at all. And looking at that match too, Cody finally proves himself. Worthy as a top guy, solidified in history, and I will personally feel like Cody Rhodes is no longer soft. But Cody, if that's the case, whether it happens at SummerSlam 2025 or WrestleMania 42, Cody Rhodes is not out of the woods yet. Here's a question for you. Tell me in the chat, because it's interactive. Whether you're watching this live or on demand, whenever you're watching or if you're just listening to it, come back onto YouTube and comment. Heel Cena is rewriting the rules. Should all legends go out as villains, or do you still prefer the classic babyface send-off where they're the good guy and they leave and everybody cheers for them? Tell me in the chat. Getting crazy. I got to drink some water to cool myself down. Couldn't find my water bottles. I'm drinking out of a cup, 50-cent cup at Walmart. That's your free behind the scenes. I hope you like it. If you like what I'm doing, go ahead and hit that subscribe. We're getting ready to take this home There's so much to talk about when it comes to Cody Rhodes and The Rock and John Cena that I'm almost pulling hour episodes. Look, I normally do episodes around 30 minutes, 35 minutes maybe, but it's like there's just so much to unpack in these boxes. And like I said a couple episodes ago, I don't like moving because I don't like unpacking boxes. But when it comes to this, I'm going to do it. And I promise you that no matter what, you will never get more than an hour show from me. Don't forget that I was a heel when I wrestled. So when I say that Cody Rhodes is not out of the woods yet, he's still got problems. So I'm looking at this, right? They don't call The Rock the final boss because they ran out of names, right? What you think, like the WWE is never going to get another boss ever again? He's going to be the last boss in WWE? No, that's not true. Ooh, yeah. No, that's not true. Ooh, yeah. What's going to happen is that The Rock, I'm thinking about this in video game terms, right? Cena was just the last level before the real test. The first test was Roman Reigns. The second test was John Cena. And now the last test is going to be the final boss, The Rock. Right? Think about the video games. Think about back to Super Mario Brothers. You had to fight all the lower level bosses that made you so mad because they all had an individual power. And then when you finally get to level 7 or 8, that's when you found the big boss. That's when you found the final boss. That's when you found Bowser or King Koopa. It all depends on what era you grew up in, on who he was. Last year, Roman was the boss. This year, Cena's the boss. And in the following, maybe like 2 years, WrestleMania 43, The Rock is going to be the boss. The final battle for Cody Rhodes is with The Rock. And that's going to put a cap on the story. The only reason I believe that this is going to happen, because somebody's probably watching like, that's dumb. They're not going to drag this story out until WrestleMania 43. They can. Right? Because they've dragged out stories with the bloodline. The bloodline started mid-pandemic and it just finished last year, and we're not even sure if that's done yet. Because somehow the bloodline could become a part of this story. I don't know. I'm just freestyling. Wiki freestyling. I'm not sure. The implications on that match, the story that can go into that match, right? Is The Rock is the face of the WWE past, and Cody Rhodes is the future. This match is not just about having a match, right? Like The Rock wanted, we all wanted a match between The Rock and Roman Reigns for who was the best in the Samoan family, right? Who was going to carry the legacy of the Samoan family. But you know what? At this point, there's only 2 legacies that matter, right? And that's Anoa'i and Rhodes. Those are the only two legacies that are going to matter. Right? Because what does Cody Rhodes' song say? There's more than one royal family in wrestling. Right? You got the Rhodes, you got the Harts, you got the Anoa'is, you got the Fatus, you got all of them, right? In pro wrestling. But Rhodes is a name that everybody's going to put some respect on. You've had Dusty Rhodes, you had Dustin Rhodes, Dustin Reynolds, a.k.a. Goldust, a.k.a. Mr. Right? We had him, and now we got Cody Rhodes. It's about legacy. Look, Cody is the future. Cody is the one that's going to be carrying the WWE into the next era. You know why? Because Cody Rhodes and I, we're about the same age, give or take 1 year on either side, right? Cody Rhodes is probably going to be 40 this year. And let me tell you something, the pro wrestlers, we're like wine. The older we get, the better we get, the better you should get, right? Unless you like some cheap wine. Right? The way I think about wrestling now at 39 years old, I think about wrestling a lot different than I did at 29. And I was wrestling at 29, right? I understand wrestling. I see wrestling differently. Cody's going to be the face of the company in the future. Because for Cody Rhodes, every single year since Cody's been back, it feels like every WrestleMania is going to be the biggest match of his career. When he first came back, he found Seth Rollins. That was the big match of his career. Why? Because it's come back to the WWE. The next year at WrestleMania, why was it the biggest match? Because he just came back off that injury and he won the Royal Rumble. He went on to fight Roman Reigns and lost. Right? That was going to be his first win. The second time, why it felt like the biggest match of his career? Reason why it felt like the biggest match of his career is because you lost the year before the Roman. Can you beat him now? The reason why this WrestleMania is going to feel like the biggest night in Cody's life is because you know what? You saw what Travis Scott, the final boss, and John Cena did to you? Grandpa from Up? You saw what he did to you? So now you're going to have to fight all of that. Who was going to help Cody? And that's the story. That's the question you should be asking yourself. Who was going to help Cody? I talked about that. Look at the YouTube short. I said it was Roman Reigns. The following year, if we're telling the story, if they're telling the story that I'm telling, the way it could work is that it's going to feel like it's Cody Rhodes' biggest career because now he has to fight John Cena again to try to win that belt after working for it so hard. And then the following year, why it's going to feel like Cody's biggest WrestleMania because now he has to beat The Rock. What's that, 5-6 WrestleManias? Talk about making that money. Take my money. I am going to SummerSlam. I wanted to go to WrestleMania, but that didn't happen this year. I am getting ready to go to SummerSlam. I'm waiting for them tickets to drop, and I'm going. Because right now, I hit 200 subscribers. I don't know where y'all came from. I appreciate y'all being here. But we're just going to grow. And we're going to do so much more fun things here in the Tristan Law Show. I'm making short content like it's nobody's business. Maybe it's your mama's business. I apologize, right? And I'm out here making these episodes where I'm really explaining to you my passion for how I think about wrestling. This is not my regular job. This is something I do for fun. And one that's going to grow, building a brand here in the Tristan Law Show. And these are my thoughts that I have in my head. And they say the craziest thing you could ever do is be in a man's head. And I think right now, Cody Rhodes, you don't want to be in his head. Because what is he feeling? What do you think Cody Rhodes is feeling? I would be afraid to come to SmackDown tonight. Because Cody Rhodes don't got no friends. There's nobody on Cody Rhodes' side. You saw Cody Rhodes took that beating by himself. There's 3 people out there beating on Cody Rhodes. Who's going to help him? Who's going to help Cody Rhodes go into WrestleMania? Will Cody Rhodes keep the belt coming out of WrestleMania? That's the question that we are asking ourselves now. This is the entire story for, if you ask me, this is how John Cena will be the WWE's biggest nightmare. He's going to just hold on to that belt, and all of y'all going to say, oh, we wanted John Cena to be heel. Now we don't want him to be heel anymore because he's not here, and he's not defending the belt, and we don't like it. This is going to be a true passing of the torch moment. Y'all remember, listen to me. Oh my God, y'all not even listening. Y'all not even listening. Look, listen. Hogan had the torch, right? Lying Hulk Hogan, he had the torch. He passed it to The Rock at WrestleMania 18 X8 at Toronto in Canada, right? I don't know. Don't ask me how I remember all these crazy things, right? That's the same place that Elimination Chamber took place from, actually. The same place that Elimination Chamber took place from was the same place, the same arena, the same building where the torch was passed from Hogan to The Rock. The Rock passed the torch to John Cena between WrestleMania 28 and 29, right? In Miami, 28 was Miami, and 29 was New York, New Jersey at MetLife Stadium. And now, The Rock is passing the torch. And John Cena is passing the torch to Cody Rhodes. This heel run, though, if you ask me, this is going to be the moment that defines John Cena's entire career. They say that first impressions are your last impressions, but you know what? The way you walk out the door is how people will always remember you, because you're never going to get an opportunity. You might never have an opportunity to walk back in that door again. We may never get an opportunity to see John Cena wrestle after he truly retires. And if he wrestles as a heel, this is going to define his whole entire career. A lot of people are saying right now in the pro wrestling world, don't worry, I'm watching the time. I'm going to give you it's an hour or your money back guarantee. And lucky for y'all didn't pay, so you don't have to worry. So don't worry, the time is ticking, we're almost done. But a lot of people are saying that John Cena is just going to turn babyface back just so he can finish his career. I don't see that happening. You know why? Because the same exact reason why nobody saw that John Cena was going to turn heel. And people saying, oh, well, you didn't see that John Cena was going to turn heel. I'm going to go to Threads right now, right? Because people argued with me online, and this was my post. I said on Threads that Cena loses the Elimination Chamber, sells his soul to his arch rival, The Rock, just so he can go after Cody and get that last championship. It sounds crazy, but tell me why it's not possible. Follow me on Threads at The Real Big Tris. Some guy was telling me that story can't happen because all of the merch and all of this and all of that. And I'm like, no, it sounds crazy. And that's why they will do it. And that's why I don't think that John Cena could or would. Let me stand on business. That's why I don't think that John Cena is going to turn heel in babyface in the next 10 months. He's going to ride this wave out as a heel, and it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks, because when he leaves and when he retires, everybody's going to cheer for him. For Cody, though, Cody had to go through the ultimate villain to face the ultimate legend. Did WWE get this right? Would you book this any differently? We got 2 minutes on the clock, and I'm thanking y'all so much for being here today. I want to see if I can do this. Is a skill they teach in broadcasting school, to make sure that you can get out on time, right? Because you know what? They're just going to cut you. Don't worry, they're not going to cut me. But we got less than a minute and a half left here together. So if you got anything you want to say, get it in the chat now. Dom Delivers Pod says that better with time, Cody will be back and better. He's going to continue to reinvent himself. I 100% agree. Thank you so much for the comments. Thank you, Sean Jennings. Thank you, Dom Delivers Pod, from all your numerous names. Thank you so much, Dan Rivera, for participating in the chat. Don't forget, I'm back every Tuesday and Friday at noon, and every now and then I'm going to throw in a special show. But in order for you to find it, you got to make sure that you subscribe to the Tristan Law Show. Don't forget, right, next Tuesday, why the final boss, The Rock, feels more dangerous than ever. I'm Tristan Law. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for joining me here on the Tristan Law Show. Make sure that you like, share, and subscribe, and don't make this the dirty secret that you keep from everybody else. I'm Tristan Law. Thank you so much for seeing me, for being with me, for riding with me, driving with me, and talking to me in the comments. Go ahead and watch some wrestling. This is the Tristan Law Show. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you next time.
Driving at night, windowless ride, feeling alive. Nothing